Coming up on today's episode, Week 1 NFL. We had some exciting games, some dull kind of games. We had Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football. We'll get into all that. And a certain incident that happened with Tyreek Hill before the Dolphins game. The shockers of the week, game of the week, all that coming up. Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. In today's episode, of course, we're recapping all the action from Week 1 and getting certain topics of takeaways, including like Tyreek Hill, with the whole incident that happened to him before the game, and other Dolphins players. We're getting to Monday Night Football, recapping Aaron Rodgers. Hey, he played a few more snaps than he did last year already. So there's a positive to come away from that game. But first, if you're new, episodes are airing every Tuesday and Friday. It's available on all streaming platforms. Be sure to check out the website. That's sportstalkfromthecrib.com. And you can stream the podcast in there as well. And social media at Feel the Heat Entertainment. It's Feel the Heat ENT. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. So for the first topic of the day, we're getting to Monday Night Football. The big debut, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Last year it really didn't happen. Played a couple of series pretty much, and that was it. But 49ers takeaway, 30 big game winning, 32-19 victory on Monday Night Football, spoiling Aaron Rodgers' big anticipated debut. Big note from this game, the 49ers were without Christian McCaffrey and still dominated this game, particularly in the run game, with Jordan Mason, 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown at a career day. He hadn't had this type of games since, what do they say, high school? He didn't even have it in college. So it was a big game for him. Stepped in, filled some shoes, and it was a big victory for the Niners. So let's talk about this Jets offense. Aaron Rodgers looked good in spots. May have some couple of different miscues with the receivers at times when they dropped the ball. But 13-21, 167 yards, TD and an interception. Garrett Wilson caught 6 of them for 60 yards. Breece Hall had a little over around 50 yards rushing and had that first touchdown. So everything looked good. Aaron Rodgers clapping on the hands. He's like, "It's up, 5. It's what they're going to be all day, baby. All day, 5. This is it. Up 7-3." And you're like, oh, Jets, their offense was kind of fluid in that drive. It was like the third drive of the game for them, I think. Second or third. And they got that touchdown. And you're like, okay, maybe. But then nothing really happened the rest of the game for him on offense. It was kind of sad. Not really, because I'm a Jet hater. But anyways, expectations for the Jets are, through the roof, right? Healthy Aaron Rodgers. We should be Super Bowl contenders. We should compete in the AFC. We should be a team. We have a great defense, right? Well, that defense did not look too great last night because Jordan Mason, the backup running back for the running backs, or for the running backs, he is a backup running back, but the backup for Christian McCaffrey goes in. You would expect Christian McCaffrey to have a big game, right? No, this dude rushes for 147 yards and a touchdown, and the alleyways were just so open. I mean, the holes were so big. There was nobody there to tackle this guy last night. And just imagine if Christian McCaffrey was there. Hey, big Trent Williams. Good thing you got him paid, right? Brandon Ayuk may have only had a couple catches and some couple drops too, including that one in the end zone. But in the run game, the dude's blocking everybody. So you got both you guys paid. Come out here, you dominate game 1, week 1. And show everybody that you are still that team that could come out of the NFC. Super Bowl favorites is the San Francisco 49ers. So they proved everything right on their end. As for the Jets, one of the biggest takeaways too, let's get in time of possession. Now this could have made this Jets offense maybe sputter a little bit, but this time of possession, Jets 21 minutes, 20 seconds. 49ers 38 minutes, 40 seconds. So like 17 minutes more during this game, the Niners had the ball. Look at the run, chewing up the clock. Jets offense couldn't get into a rhythm. Aaron Rodgers can't get into a rhythm. Alan Lazard, his buddy, caught as many passes as Garrett Wilson. Those are the only two guys that caught the ball besides Breece Hall. Gotta get more people involved in that offense. Aaron Rodgers didn't look like he had, was under duress for the most part of that game, maybe a little bit. We got the shift shuffling on the offensive line. We're like, hey, that's going to be better as well. Of course, on the defensive line, Hassan Reddick still holding out for his deal. Maybe they could have used that pass rush because Brock Purdy had all day to throw as well. But I'm going to get into something a little bit deeper here. Robert Saleh is not a good head coach. Been saying it. And now he's in this Aaron Rodgers-led New York Jets team. That, oh, yeah, Aaron Robert Saleh, he's a great guy, right? You're the former defensive coordinator for San Francisco, and your old buddy Kyle Shanahan just exposed you time and time again during this game. So, of course, he's going to be on the hot seat, especially if the Jets don't even win much. But let's look at their schedule coming up. I mean, it's not all over for the New York Jets. It's just one game against probably the top NFC team in the league, maybe the top team in the whole NFL, right? Week 1, you're going to have your kinks. You're not going to be in rhythm as much as, maybe some other teams are, stumbling out the gate. It's kind of normal a little bit, right? I don't expect to be Aaron Rodgers in this New York Jets offense to be flying on all cylinders in week 1 because look at your schedule coming up. This is the time we were at the beginning of the season. Work out your kinks. Now, if you're still struggling this mid-season in the second half, then you got serious problems. But they got at Tennessee next. You got the Pats, then the Broncos at home, and the Vikings at home. So this is Pats, really aren't that great offensively, even though they won this past weekend. Broncos, rookie quarterback Bo Nix. Vikings, Sam Darnold, even though Sam Darnold looked like an MVP this week 1, but they were facing the New York Giants, so we can't really all get caught up in that. So we'll get that when we get to this game. If Sam Darnold still balling like an MVP come then wow, that's a big improvement. But this not panic yet there, New York Jet fans. I know it's always something that's bound to happen to you. The fan base knows it. But overall, do I express some concerns? Yeah, maybe. Overall, not really, because it's week 1. And you're going against San Francisco in San Francisco. So, I believe if anybody would have went in there week 1, they would have lost anyways, no matter what team went in there for week 1. So, not all help. This is breaking loose here for New York Jet fans, but there's going to be drama. There's going to be other instances. And it's just going to happen during the course of this season. But Aaron Rodgers, his first game action, coming back from the ACL. So he did look good in parts. But we'll see how this offense does moving forward. All right, now let's get into the shocker of the week. Week 1, it almost eliminated 30% of that eliminator challenge you do on ESPN. I think it was 29%. Everybody was on the Bengals, including me. Like, hey, that's the easiest pick, really, going into week 1. In Cincinnati, New England, they got Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback. Cincinnati, Jamar Chase isn't holding out for Cincinnati. He's playing. Joe Burrow's not hurt, completely healthy. You're thinking, hey, easy win, right? Wrong. The Pats go into Cincy and beat them 16-10. Joe Burrow. 21 of 29, 164 yards. That's it. Dinkin and Duncan, no touchdowns, no picks. Jamar Chase had 6 catches, 62 yards. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots ran the ball 39 times for a total of 179 yards and a touchdown. A lot of that came from Mondre Stevenson. But, yeah. Shock. I don't understand how you have a home game. I know Joe Burrow, I think he's like 1-4 now in opening games. The trend is there now, so I guess we should have known, but we're like, hey, there's the New England Patriots, though. So that streak shouldn't matter because Patriots, although they have a decent defense, Drake May, their top pick, is the backup QB. And you got Jacoby Brissett being like the kind of bridge quarterback for him until he's ready, specifically this year. And you come out with a victory. in Cincy. Now, if you're the Bengals, you should be embarrassed. Can't allow this to happen week 1. T. Higgins did not play. The other wide receiver for the Bengals, so that's no excuse, right? The biggest takeaway from the AFC North. This is one of to me, the toughest divisions in the league. And I'm picking like a lot of us are, Pittsburgh to be last in the division. Right? You don't know what's going on with that Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing, and whatever. But guess what? The Steelers are the only team that win. They're the only team that won in the whole division. The Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens all lost. Who are we to predict anything anymore? The Steelers are actually the only team that won. But going back to this game, you're just like, why in this offense? They look so predictable. I know Joe Mixon's not there for the run game anymore. We got Zach Moss, who played very well last year in Indianapolis. Chase Brown was a rookie last year. He's coming off his injury. He's, supposedly be this passing down back, third down back, whatever. And you guys come out flat like that? You just let New England line up and just run the ball? No real game plan. We're just going to run the ball and hope the other team doesn't score. Joe Burrow, check down Joe Burrow now. All those underneath 3-4 yard passes, like that's it? That's all you're doing? Come on now. Zach Taylor, head coach, what are you doing? It's like they're stuck in, 2021 when they were like, what, Super Bowl or AFC Championship game? Was it that the last good year? So, when Joe Burrow is healthy, this team is supposed to be really good. Now, like I said before, it's a shock, but it's only week 1. I don't expect the Bengals to be like this. I expect T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to be out there together for the offense. Now, the run game may be a little more concerned because Joe Mixon just ran for $138 for the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud in that AFC. So you really may miss Joe Mixon more than you think and more than we all thought. Because now Houston's got a running back who they didn't have last year, and you don't. Can Zach Moss carry that load like a Joe Mixon? Not really. I feel like last year, my personal opinion was a little bit more of a fluke, but he did play well, spelling for Jonathan Taylor in Indy. Can Chase Brown be more involved? We'll see. But Cincinnati, and the shocker of the week, that everybody paid 29% of that Eliminator Challenge on ESPN, you're out. I picked the Chiefs. I just picked the win. It was a Thursday night game. I won that one. And I almost lost it, actually. But that was my pick. I just clicked the first one. I'm like, I don't know. Because it's week 1. Can't predict everything. All right, now let's get into the game of the week. And we had some good games. Well, we had some good games, right? That Rams-Lions game, pretty cool. But mine, it's because we're in Miami. And the Dolphins squeaked out the win 20-17. This one had a little bit more oomph to it because it wasn't just about the game. Tyreek Hill on the ground getting arrested before the game. They got Calais Campbell in cuffs. The police, for some reason, well, we'll get into that in the next topic, but this all the circumstances going on. Jonnu Smith was there within the altercation as well. So the Dolphins come in, then they're no losing. Trevor Lawrence, big time pay against Tua Tagovailoa. Where's the offense, Miami? It was non-existent in the first half. Jags had a 17-7, lead in the third quarter. Then all of a sudden, 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go into the third, Javon Holland forces the fumble at the 3-yard line. It goes into the end zone. The Dolphins recover. Travis Etienne looked like it was about to get in the end zone for an easy touchdown, possibly go up 24-7 in this game. And this is when it all starts spiraling towards Miami's favor. And Miami, first play after that turnover, bomb, Tyreek Hill, 80-yard touchdown, post a celebration, can't get me in cuffs. I'm at the game. Crowd's going wild at 17-14. Jason Sanders shanks his 40-yard field goal. It was horrible, but he comes in and hits one here. And then for the game-winning 52-yard field goal, Jason Sanders puts it right down the middle. Miami walk-off win as time expires, and the Dolphins come out with a huge Game 1 victory. Game team camaraderie, and it's just all like, team's here for us, and what a game. everybody's got your back, Tyreek, And it was game of the week. Tua Tagovailoa 300 plus passing yards, including that TD there, the Tyreek Hill. And it was an exciting game. What else could I say? That's our game of the week. And being like the fan of it, the game was driving you crazy the way things were happening during it. And to overthrowing Tyreek Hill a few times wide open. And Jalen Waddle, he missed that one. I was like, oh man, put him on the money. But Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill each finished with over 100 receiving yards. They went crazy in the second half. Speak Hills. And the momentum. But there's another crazy situation that the Jaguars went for it on the fourth. They didn't really hurt them. They went for it on a fourth down. And their own territory, coming back in when the third quarter ended to the fourth, they still handed the ball off and went for it. I was perplexed, did not understand that whatsoever. But it happened. That's when Jason Sanders, sinks that field goal. But Doug Peterson, I don't know what he was doing with that call, but Trevor Lawrence, the rookie over there from LSU, Brian Thompson, I think we got to keep an eye on him. I think there'll be something there. But Miami squeaking out a victory. They got to go to another game here on Thursday night. We just got a few days to react. Get back into this week too, because the Bills, squeaked out their victory over the Arizona Cardinals at home. So now it's a few days turn around to play on Thursday Night Football. Miami with the game of the week. Okay, this leads into the next topic here. It's what happened before the game. Tyreek Hill was involved. So all of y'all have seen this body cam footage of the whole interaction. Involved with police, traffic stop. I guess he was speeding in this area, maybe a little careless, reckless driving. There's no real definitive. Even with the police statement, I'm like, okay, so he got put off for a minor traffic violation. He was speeding. How fast was he going? Like, I don't really know all those answers, but supposedly that's the reason for the stop. Now, things escalated. Tyreek Hill, was kind of running his mouth. Cop knocking on the window, saying, roll your window back down, because he rolled it back up as he handed the officer his information. Like, who this is, obviously. You're going to know who Tyreek Hill is. He's a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. So they end up yanking him out of the car because he wouldn't roll his window back down. And I don't mean to be chuckling over there, but all this was really unnecessary. Then he's on the ground. Another cop rips him out, power tripping. And then they're standing all over the side of the curb. And then the cop wants to tackle him and put him on his knees again. Meanwhile, then Calais Campbell, Jonnu Smith are pulled over right in front of him. They're like, what's going on? And the cop's like, okay, it's all fine. We're just doing this escalation. The traffic stop. And then the other officer comes running back in again saying, give me your license. Oh, you don't want to give me your license? Then I'm putting you in cuffs too. You're not dealing with, I don't care what this officer is telling you. I'm dealing with you now. Like, power tripping, right? And this goes on all the time. Doesn't matter your race. Doesn't matter what instances. Cops are power tripping hard. More now than ever. I witnessed it firsthand in my own experiences. So, it's the same thing. Now, could Tyreek Hill have this kept his window down? Yes. But did the cop have to do what he did? Absolutely not. He wanted to be like, hey, whatever I say goes. You do what I say. If you don't want to do it, it's a problem. And you're going to go to jail because of it. And that's the unfortunate circumstances that we have when certain cops want to use that power to take advantage of somebody. Not all, but some. And the way this guy talked to him, like, I was bringing back the Tyreek situation quick. Could have just been more calm? Kept the window down? Absolutely. Would have escalated this? Maybe not. But the cop's intentions, the way he was talking to him, and his demeanor, his voice, like everything, his language, the cop had more intentions. And that was evident with the body cam footage that was released by the Miami-Dade Police Department. And cops is so in the wrong. Puts to calm the situation, not escalate it. You know? And for this to happen literally right outside this stadium is absolutely ridiculous. And the cop looked like he had a hatred towards Tyreek Hill as a person without even knowing the man. Looked like he had a hatred towards him, like he was not a fan of Miami. Like he's not a fan of the Dolphins. Like he's not a fan of Tyreek Hill at all. And that's what it seemed like to me. Like, that's Tyreek Hill? Oh, I'm going to show him. It's because he's a star football player. Doesn't mean nothing. I'm the one with the badge. And that's what it felt like after seeing the situation. Tyreek said, hey, call Drew. He had Drew Rose announce on his agent on the phone. Blah, blah, blah. And when all this was said and done, he was released. He did play in the game. So what really was the traffic stop? Was it really careless driving? Was it really speed through that little area there? Or what? That one cop's been put on administrative leave. We've seen the body cam footage. What really was the intention of it all? If it was just a traffic infraction, hey, go in, get the information, write the ticket, move on. Why escalate it? Why have a power trip? Was Tyreek Hill 100% in the right in all of his actions? No. But there was no reason for a law enforcement officer to do what he did and how he did it. It was completely uncalled for. And that's how we're going to wrap up the show. And thank you all for joining me here on Sports Stuff from the Crib with your favorite sports host, Tanner Christian. Remember, new episodes are airing every Tuesday and Friday, and it's available on all streaming platforms. Check out the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. You can stream the podcast on there as well. And check us out on social media. We're at Feely Heat Entertainment. It's Feely Heat ENT. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Thanks for joining me again. Catch you on Friday's episode. I want to talk about, previewing Week 2 action. All in the NFL. So check us out then. Thanks for joining me again. Peace out.